No. Have you ever been at an airport and seen a plane either land as smooth as butter or take off into the sky? If so, the thought probably crossed your mind, how does a heavy aircraft weighing thousands of pounds fly through the air? Today I'm going to answer that question for you. Now you might be thinking, Abby, what makes you an authority on this subject? Well, I'll tell you. I have been a student pilot flying single-engine Cessna 172 since I was 16 years old. I have amassed quite a bit of experience flying with an instructor and flying solo. Therefore, I am quite well versed in aeronautical physics. And after today, you will have an elementary knowledge of it as well. So the first thing you need to understand are the primary flight controls. I have my trusty effigy of a P-51 Mustang. So, we need to talk about the ailerons, which are right here on the wing. Now, their purpose is controlling the roll motion of the plane, like so. They move up and down, and another way to consider this is the banking movement of the aircraft. Second, we have the elevators located on the back of the plane. Again, they move up and down, and their purpose is to regulate the pitch of the aircraft. Now, if you point the nose up in the air, you will climb, given you have the right throttle input. And if you pitch the nose down, you will descend. And that is regulated by the elevators. Now, our last primary flight control to understand is the rudder. It moves side to side, and it controls the yawing motion of the plane. So, how it moves sideward. Now that you understand the rudiments of the flight controls, we can talk about the four forces of flight. Now, the first one, and the most important, is lift. This is generated by a pressure differential over the wing. Now, a wing is a smooth surface. The top is curved and the bottom is flat. And as the airflow travels across it, on the top there's more area for the air to cover. Therefore, it must travel faster to remain in sync with the airflow on the bottom. And faster moving air means less pressure on the top, thus creating the pressure differential, thus creating lift. This is known as Bernoulli's principle. And in opposition to lift, we have weight, otherwise known as gravity. Now, gravity, as you might know, is the force that attracts any body containing mass to the center of the earth. The heavier something is, the more gravity will act upon it. Therefore, you must have more lift than you have gravity in order to nullify its effects and climb through the air. Now, our third force is thrust. This is created by the engine, and this is what propels the plane forward. Now, in order to fly, you must have more thrust and lift than you have weight, and the last force, drag. That is caused by an airflow disruption. As the air flows over the plane, there is some friction because of protrusions like the struts holding up the wings on high-wing aircraft or non-retractable landing gears. Thus, that will slow the plane down as the air hits it. So you must overcome weight and drag by increasing thrust and lift. Now, in order to take off, the plane must be faced into the wind to generate enough airflow. Now, you might be thinking, if you're paying attention, Abby, wouldn't more airflow create more drag? And the answer is yes. That's why adding the full throttle will provide enough momentum to overcome the force of drag and help get the plane off the ground. When you're coming into land, you want to increase weight and drag. Therefore, you turn down the power quite a bit or off completely. Then you just let the two forces help you glide the plane down to the runway. When an airplane is said to be aerodynamic, that means that it has a very sleek and streamlined design and minimum protrusions that would create drag. And so this is how an aircraft works in a nutshell. So in the future, if you are ever on a flight and you wish to be perceived as nifty and astute, you can regale your friends and family or whoever you're with this science. And no doubt they'll be in awe of your brilliance. Thank you.
Awesome, Abs.
Was that
I learned
good?
more about a plane
me too.